As many know, Rust has a variety of different skins, actually being the first game to add skins to the Steam market, and they play a pretty important role to the game. And let's be honest, besides some looking better than others, a few skins also give you an in-game advantage. And in this video I'm going to be showing you 12 different skins that a lot of you probably don't know which give you a pay to win advantage. And one of them is actually free to obtain, if you know how, but more on that later. I already uploaded a part with some of the more common ones, if you like to check it out. Oh, and once again, all of the skins are fairly cheap and easily affordable. And let's play a small game. Go hit the subscribe button right now, and if there's at least one skin that you didn't know was this good, then leave it that way. If not, you can unsubscribe again. So I'd say we get straight to number 1. The first one on the list is the New Year's Gong, coming in at 1.2 bucks. Most of you guys know the trick where you can place a vending machine instead of your door when you're getting raided, and this works perfectly fine. But did you know that you can do the same thing with the New Year Gong? And it's extremely cheap to craft because you only need 100 wood and 50 metal frags. And as you can see, if you hit in the middle, it doesn't take damage at all. And if you hit it at the bottom, which is the only way of destroying it, it still takes multiple AK mags. And if the guy who's raiding you is stupid and shoots it in the middle, then you have literally won the raid. I rate the skin a 9 out of 10, it's extremely good, but still not the best on the list. At number 2 we have the Snowman helmet at 1.4 bucks. This one is very good early game as it only costs 10 cloth. It is 20% projectile protection on your head, and that for the price of only 10 cloth, which is pretty good. And let's not forget that on top of that, the Snowman helmet has 10% core protection, which is decent as well. I rate the skin a 7 out of 10 because of its cheap price and the large amount of core protection it gives. Coming in at number 3 is the Sunburn DLC with the price of 10 bucks. This DLC isn't just one pay to win skin. Besides the beach towel sleeping bag skins, which are pretty cool but not pay to win, you have the water gun and the boogie board. With the water gun you can actually put out fire from a Molotov cocktail, which in the current meta is almost necessary. And the boogie board is very overpowered too, because it makes almost no noise, so you can easily counter oil and with a bit of practice cargo too. And not to mention, both the boogie board and the water gun are both very cheap to craft. So I rate this one a 10 out of 10 too, because you literally get 2 good pay to win skins in one pack. Number 4 is the Surgeon Scrub, coming in at the price of 35 bucks. This one is fairly expensive, but I promise this is the only one on the list. But this one is very overpowered, maybe even too good, as it's basically a hazmat suit in the tier 1. It only costs 2 sewn kits and 60 cloth to craft, which is 40 scrap if you are an outpost. Buy some tack gloves and recycle them and you're good to go. It gives you overall 25% projectile protection and 50% rat protection, which is enough for most monuments. Not mentioning that it's also great for baiting and only requires a tier 1 to craft. So if you have the skin and you're starting on a new server, just head to Outpost with 40 scrap and you're good. I rate the skin an 8 out of 10 because it's very good, but it costs a bit too much for my taste. As promised, the skin is completely free, but you still have to do some work to get it, and it's none other than the Clatter helmet. It is decent stats, them being 20% projectile protection and 6% core protection, and you can combine it with the bandana mask. But what's so good with the skin is the disgustingly cheap price it has to craft at only 35 metal frags, which is basically nothing. And now let's come to the interesting part, and that is how to obtain it, for free of course. Now to get it, you first have to download another game from Facepunch named Clatter. Now the game is free, but that has only recently been the case, and not a lot of people know that you can get it for free now. And after you've downloaded it, you have to play for 30 minutes. Well, not exactly. I literally just left the game running in the background for half an hour and it still worked. So after you've done that, you have to join any official Rust server, and then you should have the skin in your inventory. Now I rate the skin a solid 7 out of 10. Because it's so cheap to craft and literally free. But there's one downside that you have to be careful of, and that is that it glows in the dark. Yeah, just keep that in mind before sneaking up on the AK guy thinking you're slick. Now at number 6 we have the sofa with the price of 2 bucks, and before you say it's shit, hear me out. You can actually look through double doors if you place it right. Now sadly you can't shoot out of it because all of the shots will be invalid, but you can actually use a spear through the door. And with that mechanic you can build some great trap bases, as many YouTubers have already done. So I rate this skin a 5 out of 10 because it's only good for trolling. Number 7 is the Cauldron. This one costs $5 and only has a slight pay to win advantage, and that is that you can stand on it without taking damage. And it looks pretty cool, but you can maybe use it to stand on it and look down on windows or embrasures instead of the small box. But I rate it a 4 out of 10. I mean, it's okay, but not worth $5 if you want it for the advantage. If you think it looks cool, then that's a different story. At number 8 we have my personal favorite, the Fogger, with $4, and this one would be shit if it wouldn't have this one feature, that is the motion sensor. That means if a player comes near the Fogger 3000, then it makes a sound and creates fog. So that means you can slap one into your front door, and if someone tries to door camp you, their cover gets blown by this fog machine, and you won't die to them anymore. I rate this an easy 10 out of 10, because the price is reasonable and it's very overpowered. Number 9 is the Snow Machine at $3, and this one is very cheeky. Because, and not really a lot of people know about this, you can hide landmines under the snow. So if you place one in the snow and people run under it, they just die. This allows for some great trolling and some nice traps, and that's why I rate it a 7 out of 10. Because it's not too expensive and is actually pretty fun to use. And the last one are the Deluxe Christmas lights at $7, and they have a cool thing about them, and that is that you can literally cover whole walls and a turret can shoot through them, and you can go in and out. This one is once again great for trolling, and I seem to remember seeing it in other YouTube videos too. I rate them a 6 out of 10 because they are pretty expensive for what they can do. But I actually bought them because I think they look cool. And that wraps up today's video. Please make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed, because this video took a whole lot of time to make and it really would mean a lot. And let me know in the comments if you want to see another part of cheap pay to win skins, if that's even possible. But now I say, see you next time.